Let me explain this to you in the terms of Iraqis in Baghdad. Their country is invaded. The Iraqis are defending their homeland. The country's in turmoil, and the enemy is occupying your land. Now there's this doofus, Tom, who just happens to be Iraqi, who walks into the middle of gunfire, in the middle of the battlefield, and he says, "Hey, occupiers, with your guns and AK-47s and your laser beams pointed at my head, let's just be people." Let's just be people. Our friend Tom doesn't understand that his words are correct, but the enemy doesn't need to heed to your advice, to your words. He doesn't need to listen. Those are the words of cowards, of beggars. Let's just be people. Now, if Tom wants to stop the war, he can come to power. He can kick the aggressors out of his home country. He can free them. He can defeat them. And then when he's in power, when he rules the world, when he's making decisions, rather than repeat what was just done, then you can say, okay, now that I'm king of this country, now that I'm supreme ruler, let's just be people. But blacks, try explaining this to us. Try explaining this to us blacks. In the middle of a war, when everyone else is gathering their money, when everyone else is practicing group economics, Jewish people group economics, Chinese group economics, Koreans group economics, whites group economics, Arabs group economics, blacks, let's just be people. Let's just be people. Let's just be people. Your friend TV has not taught you this. TV is so great, but they have not taught you this one simple concept. Now, I keep telling you to get this out of your home, and all of you keep saying, well, but it's going to help us. Okay, when? When is it going to help you? Because it's 2014 and you still have not learned this. You're still trying to run in the middle of the battlefield and holler, let's just be people, when gunshots are being fired. Jason Black was putting together this documentary. It was our obligation. But what do? We've got money for iPads. We got money for mittens, some designer gloves, some sneakers, nice clean shoelaces. But when it's time to donate, let's just be people. Let's talk about the future and if there's any validity in what he might possibly be saying. Let me show you where I disagree so I can not donate. Let me just find the flaw in giving a black man money to support what he's doing. To support someone who's trying to stick up for us and my future and my offspring. Let me find a flaw in what he's saying, because that way, if we can have this debate long enough, either the donation will be over or I can convince you otherwise to not donate. It's time to bring out philosophy. I promise you this right now. If you want to major in philosophy, skip over Harvard. Ignore Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford, Yale. And if you want to understand philosophy, you just go to Chicago and you tell a man like, hey, here's a black man about to build a school. Chicago's full of blacks that are second-class citizens that have nothing, that are living off 0.05 of the nation's wealth. And although we make up about 11-12% of the population living off practically nothing, shreds and crumbs, let's help this black man over here who's going to build this school rather than wither our money away on Harry Potter. If you want your major in philosophy, I promise you'll get a better education talking to that black man in Chicago. I promise you, Harvard cannot teach you the ins and outs of philosophy and morals and rights and wrongs. That black man, he's going to go all through history. He's going to give you examples and case studies. You'll learn a little about the law. He's going to tell you every reason in the universe why we should not help this man. He's going to tell you about let's just be people and let's just be equal and equality and the universe and the stars and the suns and ancient Kemet and Babylon and Jehovah and Muhammad and the prophets and the coming of Christ and the return of Allah and the return of whoever. He's going to teach you about history and the old law and the New Testament, and you'll just learn about everything. You'll learn about every aspect of history and philosophy trying to get $50 out of him. $50. I'm telling you, go save your money. You don't need to go to Harvard. Go get $50 out of a black man to help another black man build something. There's your introduction to philosophy. That's philosophy 101 right through PhD level. That is the power of white supremacy. The average black right now is sick. They're weak. They're frail. But when it's time to go watch that new X-Men, that new Wolverine and Spider-Man, when it's time to go watch some Matt Damon and Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks and the other Toms, well, what is philosophy again? Why wouldn't I see that? Of course we love Tom Hanks. Of course we love Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz, Angelina Jolie. Of course we love her. Oprah Winfrey, of course we love her. Kobe, of course. Why wouldn't I watch that stuff? Why wouldn't I spend my time? Why wouldn't I give them my money? Try to get a black man to help another black man, I promise you. It's much easier to complete your dissertation on any subject in the world. It's much easier to become a neurologist. It's much easier to reinvent the will. It's much easier to bring back the dead. I mean, if I had to put my bets on someone who's been on life support for about 17 years and getting some money out of a black man to help another black man build something productive and useful to bring us out of this perpetual slump, I would bet and borrow all the money I could on that man on life support. Because right now the blacks are weak, they're sick, they are sick. It's an epidemic. I should say pandemic. and I'm just running for shelter. But I'm not giving up. But I need you to understand this. I need you to understand that you're dealing with sick people. And it's a shame that this was left up to me. This should have never been left up to a 30-year-old. Everything that I'm saying should have never been left up to a young 30-year-old, a man who started in his 20s. This wasn't my job, but this shows you the caliber of people that preceded me. This infectious disease has just been rotting away at us. It's been rotting away until now. Here's what you're left with. You're left with people that will ignore the solution. And the only thing I talk about is TV, because if you have a TV in your home, you won't be able to hear Jason Black. You won't be able to hear Dr. Claude Anderson. You won't be helping Dr. Umar. You don't even want to hear what they talked about, because Kobe's on TV. He's going to throw down a slam. He might jump from the foul line. He might hit a free throw from the foul line. He might get fouled at the foul line. He might say foul words at the foul line. That's what you care about. And that is foul, brothers. Brothers and sisters, that is just foul. That you're more concerned with TV than your great-grandchildren. And every time I talk about TV, which I only talk about TV, then you run and you start philosophizing. You start searching for, well, maybe I don't like his voice. I think he's rambling because he's talking about our friend TV. I don't get what he's saying because he said that the best thing you could ever do is get the TV/slave box out of your home. I don't get what he's saying. He's saying something, but I don't get it. So I'm just going to say he's rambling, even though he keeps directly repeating and saying the same thing. I don't have many messages. My only message has always been, get the TV out of your home. Get the TV out of your home. Get the TV out of your home. And then for you, those of you that do get it, then I get the emails like, oh, I like what you say. Yeah. Okay, well, is the TV in your home? Yeah, but I like how you say that. How are you any different from the others right now? How are you any different? I'm asking, are any of you prepared to not repeat what's been done unto you right now? See, right now, think about a garden that has problems with the soil, so the grass can't grow, and it's constantly being stomped on by soldiers that are marching in the field. The problems with the soil right now, black people, that's us. So we're going to wither away and die from within. And the soldiers that are stomping on the grass, that's white supremacy. And many people we always have this debate like, is it the white man holding us down or is it blacks holding us down? When actually you've got both problems. But what many people fail to realize right now is that the level of deterioration is so great. The sad truth is, right now, the level of deterioration is so great that if whites stop everything they're doing to undermine any chances of black success and black numbers and population increasing and economic empowerment, the soil is deteriorating so fast and has been corrupted so much that we're in cruise control to self-genocide.